awesome years to the Pro Wrestling Report. Keep it up, guys, and I hope for many more. Good job. Yeah, baby.
Welcome to PWR PrimeTime TV, where this week we discuss...
Is the artist formerly known as Punk starting a music career?
Who is the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Why didn't you realize everything Triple H said on Raw is everything you've been saying for weeks?
TNA Star Abyss joins us in studio for a special interview.
All of this and much more, including how you can win tickets to WrestleMania 30, coming right now on this edition of PWR Primetime for Saturday, March 22nd.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Octavius Tiberius, the alleged backyard, one-time straight-edge, knockout, hardcore, Hall of Famer hero. How are you, David?
I am absolutely #tremendous.
Coming off the heels of your big shenanigans show last night downtown Milwaukee at Turner Hall. Not to be confused with the NCAA tournament that's also occurring downtown
There's
Milwaukee.
so much stuff going on in Milwaukee this weekend. It's absolutely crazy.
Equally so much stuff going on right here tonight on the Pro Wrestling Report. So let's kick it off with this week's WWE Report. And we'll start by talking about Raw this past Monday night, which ended with Triple H absolutely destroying Daniel Bryan. Now this, of course, came after Daniel Bryan defeated WWE World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton earlier in the evening, but Triple H put a beating, a brutal beating, on Daniel Bryan. Some would say he whooped him like a government mule.
I haven't seen a beatdown like that since The Rock beat up the Mick Mankind Foley, all his chair shots. I mean, it was a brutal beat. I mean, it was almost like Daniel Bryan reminded me of a redheaded stepchild.
I'm waiting.
No, he is, but he got beat so badly. That's what he reminded me of.
It's a journey, and that was another chapter in the journey this past Monday night. The significance, though, of Daniel Bryan getting yet another win over Randy Orton can't be overlooked.
Well, I mean, it's the point where I don't want to see Randy Orton wrestling anymore until WrestleMania, because every week he goes out there, every week he gets beat by somebody. He's becoming the weakest champion since The Miz.
There you go. Yesterday on Feedback Friday, you took advantage of every opportunity to bury Daniel Bryan.
No, I didn't.
And now you randomly bring up The Miz to bury him.
Yeah, he was booked as a weak champion also. And Randy Orton, who has he beaten lately?
Booked as a weak champion. He beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
After a rock bottom.
He beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
Okay. Yeah, in the record book, that's what it says. But we all know the truth.
Triple H apologizes for his actions against Daniel Bryan on last night's SmackDown.
Yeah, well, he has a conscience. I mean, he's trying to avoid a lawsuit, you know.
What is the purpose of this beating? Why was it so brutal? Why did it end the show? What was where are we going?
They want Daniel Bryan to go into WrestleMania a weak, broken individual. So it looks like Triple H can just pick him apart. So then eventually when Daniel Bryan overcomes the odds and a beatdown of Triple H at WrestleMania and defeats him with the knee to the face out of nowhere to then go to the main event, tells a better story.
I've told this story before on this program, and this just popped in my head as you were saying that. WrestleMania 22, Triple H versus John Cena, where Triple H acted like it was going to be quite frankly, he actually said, it's going to be the easiest night of my life. There was no chance Cena could beat him. There was no chance Triple H was going to lose. None of us thought Triple H would lose that matchup. He walked into WrestleMania and lost that match and the championship to John Cena after, I guess, selling to all of us for months leading up to it. It's along those same lines. Look, I know a lot of people don't like Triple H, but you can't.
Why not?
You can't understate his genius in the wrestling business. He's one of the smartest men in the business.
On paper, it looks like a mismatch. You have Triple H, a legit 6'2", 6'3", 260-pound guy. Then you have Daniel Bryan, considerably smaller. So why not beat Daniel Bryan down physically and emotionally to the point where, oh, there's no way. It just tells a better David and Goliath story.
How about when Stephanie was slapping him and said, you hit like a girl?
That was funny.
But it showed that Bryan has fight.
Who would you
left
rather
in him.
irritate, Stephanie or Triple H?
Triple H.
Oh, I'd be more afraid of Stephanie.
That's what I just said. I would rather irritate Triple H because I'm more afraid of Stephanie.
Oh, well then be a little more clear about that. I was confused.
Did the Shield turn face Monday night?
No. It's just that more fans
Beat down on Kane?
No, more fans are now starting to cheer for them. I mean, they've always gotten a babyface reaction. The fans have always enjoyed the Shield. But now there's more people, more kids cheering for them.
Let's look at what happened last night on SmackDown. You saw a bit of a duel, I guess you can call it, between the Shield and Kane and the New Age Outlaws. Is that the direction we're heading in for WrestleMania? Six-man tag?
I hope not.
Last week you were looking more towards a four-way.
Yeah, I would much rather see Usos versus Shield versus Outlaws versus either Real Americans or Cody and Goldust in a tag match.
He endorsed Cody Rhodes.
But I mean, listen, I'm a big fan of the Outlaws. They're super friends. You know, Kane, you know, he's been around for a long time. I don't know if that's the match that the people want to see at WrestleMania.
For whatever reason, this past Monday night, WWE Raw scored its lowest rating of the year. Now, that happened still with 4.1 million viewers.
Well, it was heavily,
in.
and here's the thing, it was heavily featured with Daniel Bryan. So that doesn't make any sense why it was so low, why the ratings were so poor.
Daniel Bryan had the highest rated segment on the show.
It was the end.
No, it wasn't that segment. It was a match with Orton.
Really?
Yeah. Bizarre. To your point, it's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
2.98 was the rating, and rarely does the show peak in the middle, but it peaked actually in hour 2, which was the highest rated hour of Raw. We talked about the tag team situation. We still have no answer, at least as of last night's SmackDown, in the tag team ranks. The four-way matchup made for the #1 contendership for the tag team championship broke down, and Kane later gives that to the Real Americans, who Cody Rhodes and Goldust beat on main event. And Rybaxo also gets future tag team title spots.
It's politics. It doesn't matter how many wins or losses you have. It's who you know up on top.
Speaking of wins and losses, Dolph Ziggler is back on a winning streak. He got 2 wins this week, David Hero. Now, that may not sound like a ton of accolade, but it's been a long time
for him,
since
it's a big,
Dolph
for him,
Ziggler
it's a hell of a run.
has won a series of matches. He won in the tag match on Raw with Big Show, Big E, and Mark Henry, and then defeating Damien Sandow on SmackDown.
Disappointing. Damien Sandow is a star.
He is a star. He's in the 30-man Battle Royal. Main event this past Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when you watch it. Layla returned to WWE.
It's always good to see Layla.
And The Undertaker made an appearance on Main Event this past week.
That's huge news.
Huge news, and the huge news he dropped was that he will be on Raw from Brooklyn on Monday. Now, Layla actually lost in her matchup, but The Undertaker, wow, him and Paul Heyman, live Undertaker on Main Event. He wasn't even on Raw Monday night.
Well, they're trying to obviously get people to go to the network.
Absolutely.
And that's why he's there.
Well, in the overflow, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit more about the 30-man Battle Royal at WrestleMania as it is now taking shape. 12 stars have been announced, yet where will that match fall on the card? We'll do that in the extended edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime, available at PWRshow.com as soon as we go off the air right here. We'll be right back after this brief timeout with more of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime.
Us on Twitter for breaking news, live wrestling chat, and pure hilarity. Head over to twitter.com/PWR Show and be part of the conversation.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, the insurance company may try to stop you from getting what's fair.
After my car wreck, the insurance company tried to stop me from getting what was fair. I called Gruber Law Offices.
Be careful. Call us right away.
They better be careful. Now I've got Gruber Law Offices.
Call us. Let us get started on your case right now.
They green-lighted my case and got me $100,000.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Call 276-6666.
Be sure to visit our friends over at ProWrestlingTees.com for the latest and greatest wrestling t-shirts at awesome prices. Go now and you can see the all-new officially licensed Andre the Giant collection. Coming soon, you can also find the official PWR shop where you can get all the new Nelson family or the Super Friends shirt as well. ProWrestlingTees.com is your home on the web for the most unique and entertaining wrestling t-shirts designed and sold by Pro Wrestling.
Orleans, SWO, the Shenanigans World Order is coming to WrestleMania weekend. Join Ken Anderson, Demolition, Shane Helms, Al Snow, and the headliner, the main event, Kevin Nash, for a huge event. A VIP dinner and reception, a question and answer session, a meet and greet, and an after party, all part of SWO, Friday night, April 4th. Details right now at PWRshow.com.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Hero on my 24 Milwaukee on a Saturday night, and I have a very important question for you.
Yes.
Why'd you sell it? Where's the monitor?
Honestly,
We got a big 50-inch monitor supposed to be there.
You want to know the truth? What really happened?
Can you say it on TV, or
Yes.
do I need to call
No. Last week, at
a week ago,
at the after party,
which I didn't make it to.
Linda had the duffel bag of doom.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well, you need to have it replaced next week.
I didn't knock it over. Talk to her.
It's time for this week's Impact Wrestling Report within the TNA Report and Impact Wrestling this past Thursday night. David Hero. We didn't talk about last week the big return of Angelina Love to Impact Wrestling. Always been a fan of Angelina Love. Always been a fan of the beautiful people. And trying to do a bit of a reunion, yet Madison Rayne is having no part of it.
And
because she felt she was never respected.
She was disrespected. And right now she's the top knockout in the company. Mm-hmm. She's the champ. I mean, she doesn't need Angelina Love, who hasn't been on TV in a couple years, to be a star. She is a star. And she doesn't fit that mold anymore.
What do you mean?
She doesn't have that.
Say she's no longer beautiful?
No. She doesn't have the blonde hair. You know, she doesn't have.
You need a blonde hair and blue eyes to be beautiful?
Absolutely not. I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. So it just let Velvet and Angelina do their thing, and you can already tell there's going to be dissension with the two of them. But, but who knows? I mean, Madison Rayne may eventually side with Angelina, and then they beat down Velvet. You know how women are. You can't trust them. So, except for Mom. You can always trust your mom.
Lady Tapa loses a loser leaves match in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, and she's done with TNA Impact Wrestling.
Oh, really?
And,
hot news?
Sure. What a mistake. Because Lady Tapa is talented. She has a unique look. She's a big girl. They can draw money with her. She doesn't look like the rest of the knockouts. And I think that they may have dropped the ball by letting her go.
The main event was Magnus getting a win over Samoa Joe, but of course there were shenanigans involved again, as Abyss, who earlier in the night took out Eric Young quite brutally, was...
You know what? But EY deserved it.
Oh, did he?
Yes. I mean, I know that you think Abyss never should have touched EY. You're an EY guy, and I like EY also, but you can't disrespect the monster Abyss. You got to stay out of his business.
All he did was ask him a question, which I'm going to do later in this broadcast in a few minutes, actually.
You need to rethink your attitude.
I don't like how you're framing this.
I know how
I'll be fine. I'm a broadcast journalist.
I remember how it ended last time for you.
Abyss and MVP who stepped in for EY were handcuffed at ringside. Abyss threw a chair to the face of Magnus, allowing Magnus to get the win in that matchup. Magnus retains again. He's still being painted as not the strongest of champions.
He's kind of like the Randy Orton of champions right now. Randy Orton / Miz of champions. But you're going to enjoy watching Magnus finally lose that title to whoever it's going to be, because you're just getting sick of him being sneaky, being snarky, just being British.
You know?
Absolutely.
Rockstar Spud's British.
But he's a different kind of British.
How so?
He's entertaining.
Now,
you know, Rockstar Spud's going to be hosting a party in Racine.
And I think we're going to hear about that in the event center in a few moments with Linda.
Then I won't spoil it for you.
Yes, I'm trying to get into that. You know, I'm on the list now, so after last week.
Yes, I saw that.
So, let's see what happens. But we talked about Raw drawing its lowest rating of the year. Impact, who was back in Orlando after a series of great shows in the UK, drew 1.2 million viewers on just under a 1 cable rating. It was their highest since February. And again, as I said, it was the first time back in Orlando. The difference in the feel of the show, David Hero?
I mean, when you
tweeted out something about what a difference the audience makes or
it does.
Can
the audience,
make to a show.
Yeah, I mean, when they were overseas in the UK, I mean, you had 10, 12,000 people there. Different dynamic than in a soundstage in Orlando. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that the fans in the UK appreciated the product more than the ones doing Orlando.
That's this week's TNA Report, ladies and gentlemen. A solid episode of Impact this past Thursday. And keep in mind, coming up in a few minutes, the Monster Monster Abyss joins me for a special interview right here in this studio. What?
I'm not going to be here for that.
No, you need to be.
I'll be fine. You'll be fine.
The entire plan is ruined now.
Oh, there was never a plan.
In my head, there was. Speaking of plans, let's go over to the Event Center with Linda Kay.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. First of all, thanks to everyone who came out last night to GLCW Shenanigans, where we had another hashtag tremendous night. And we are only 2 weeks away from the biggest and best party event of WrestleMania weekend. Cold Cock Whiskey and PWR present SWO, the Shenanigans World Order, starring Big Sexy Kevin Nash. The event kicks off with a special VIP dinner and private reception with Kevin Nash. And then join Nash and more for a no-holds-barred question and answer session where you are the stars. It's all topped off by the Shenanigans After Party, where you can meet and party with your favorite wrestling stars. It's the only way to kick off WrestleMania weekend. Tickets start at only $25 at PWRshow.com and use the promo code PrimeTime for 10% off your VIP tickets. All attendees will be entered into a drawing for 2 free tickets to the PWR Suite at WrestleMania. It's a value that cannot be beat. Impact Wrestling is coming to the Milwaukee area with a huge show in Racine on Saturday, May 3rd at the Racine Civic Center, and tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. That's it for this week's Event Center presented by Gruber Law Offices.
Thank you, Linda. Huge events, and how about that at SWO in New Orleans?
Yes.
You now get a chance to win free suite tickets to our suite at WrestleMania, and Sweet and Sexy is coming to Los Angeles for SummerSlam. Tickets on sale now.
I've never been to SummerSlam. I'm very excited about it.
Have you ever been to Los Angeles?
Oh, I've been to Hollywood.
Oh. Thank you very much again. As we said, Linda, get all the details on PWR events at PWRshow.com. But it is time for this week's hot news, folks, which is brought to you by Cellucor, featuring products that maximize every training session, helping you get the gains you're looking for faster than a speeding bullet. Head to Cellucor.com right now and enter the code PWRShow, and do that at checkout and get 20% off your entire order.
That's big savings.
That really is. WWE has announced that the WrestleMania pre-show will be 2 hours in length. The first hour of the show will air on the company's social media channels, and the final hour will air on the WWE Network. That pre-show is scheduled to start at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So WrestleMania is going to be like, what, 6 hours long?
Be like WrestleMania 2000. Remember, it was a 24-hour thing?
That's too long.
Today is the last day to get a 1-week free trial of the WWE Network. New signups get the first week free, and then pricing moves to $9.99 monthly with a 6-month commitment. WWE has not yet released any info on how many fans have signed up for the network. Fresh off his national television appearance on AMC's Talking Dead on Sunday, the former WWE...
Which he never acknowledged being a WWE superstar.
The former WWE champion Phil CM Punk Brooks was in the recording studio with a New York-based hardcore band named Madball on Tuesday.
Of course, that makes sense.
Brooks has still not made a public statement about his WWE status, but did say on Talking Dead that he was a quote-unquote new man. I didn't realize Mr. Brooks could drop rhymes.
What does that mean, new man? I mean, how would you take it?
There's a number of ways it could be taken.
Well, I'm asking for your thoughts.
Mr. T has been announced for the 2014 WWE Hall of Fame. The company made the announcement on Monday, and Mr. T, who was an integral part of WrestleMania 1 and WWE's first bit of mainstream exposure, took to Twitter to say, and I quote, "I'm honored and humbled. I will do my best to never let you down. Thank you all."
Who do you want, Piper or Hogan, to induct him?
Piper.
I don't think Piper will, but I would love to see a Piper induction.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Mr. T. Well-deserved on the induction. Dish TV will not be showing WrestleMania on pay-per-view. In a statement released on Thursday, the company said, and I quote, "WWE is not willing to adjust pay-per-view costs to satellite and cable companies, which is unfair to their customers. Dish needs to refocus efforts to support partners that better serve." Basically, they said, WWE, you're taking money from us.
Yeah, you know what? They didn't care about the pricing, the first 29 years of this pay-per-view. But now all of a sudden, because it might not be as, financial of a windfall for them, now they're going to say, oh, we're going to pass.
They went on to say at the end, DirecTV, other companies, including DirecTV, have also expressed that they may no longer provide WWE pay-per-view events in the future. That's it for this week's Hot News, presented by Cellucor. Maximize every training session.
This week's Robert Hack Diamond to the Ring. First of all, I'm going to be the smart one this week. This week's Robert Hack. Smart one. This week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring is the monster from TNA Wrestling. Yes, Abyss finally showing Eric Young EY.
Really?
Exactly. Of course. Hey, he's going to be here. I'm going to score as many cool points as I can. I saw what happened to you. He showed EY what it's like to cross the real boss. And now that he is the, how can you say it, the muscle behind Magnus's mouth, only big things are going to be happening for the TNA superstar. So once again, Robert Hack's Diamond of the Ring, the place where they pay cash for gold, is the TNA Impact Wrestling monster, Abyss.
Speaking of Abyss, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, it's this week's DWHS and a special in-studio interview with the monster, Abyss. All that next on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Stop stalking your ex and be our friend on Facebook and join the tremendous worldwide discussion. Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report.
New Orleans, SWO, the Shenanigans World Order is coming to WrestleMania weekend. Join Ken Anderson, Demolition, Shane Helms, Al Snow, and the headliner, the main event, Kevin Nash, for a huge event. A VIP dinner and reception, a question and answer session, a meet and greet, and an after party, all part of SWO, Friday night, April 4th. Details right now at PWRshow.com.
Don't miss out on all the other PWR programming available online at PWRshow.com and on our YouTube channel. On Mondays, it's the Double D podcast with Damien and Dave talking anything and everything, including more detailed discussion on the week's wrestling news. Listen to the Double D podcast on iTunes and at PWRshow.com. On Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central, join Meathead and Matthew for PWR Live, where you can call in and have your voices heard streaming live on Blog Talk Radio. On Fridays, ProWrestlingTees.com presents PWR Feedback Friday, where Damien and Dave respond to your comments on YouTube and Twitter and respond to your comments about PWR broadcasts. And then right after we go off the air here on My 24 Milwaukee, check out the expanded edition of PWR Primetime TV with more detailed discussion and analysis. PWR brings you the best in pro wrestling discussion, so be sure to never miss the latest PWR episode.
TNA Impact Wrestling returns to Racine for the first time in almost 4 years with the all-new 2014 World Tour. In the main event, World Champion Magnus battles Mr. Anderson in a World Heavyweight title match. Come an hour early for photos and autographs at the hottest fist-pumping pre-show party hosted by Rockstar Spud and DJ Zima. Free with your ticket Saturday, May 3rd at Racine Civic Center Memorial Hall. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. TNA Impact Wrestling. As fun as it gets.
Monday night, Triple H cut a promo on Batista, Randy Orton, and eventually Daniel Bryan. He mentioned how he is sick of Hollywood stars coming back and dictating how business is done. He mentioned how Randy Orton has been a disappointment as champion, and then eventually put Daniel Bryan over by saying he has never quit. The funny thing is that Triple H was booed, which doesn't make sense considering everything he said is what the IWC fans have been saying almost verbatim since the Royal Rumble. Once again, the machine gives you what you want on a silver platter, and yet you don't even realize it. So even after telling you everything you wanted to hear, Triple H still went ahead and destroyed Daniel Bryan to end the show. Again, the machine keeps moving. And with that, David Hero has spoken.
So, you know, that was solid. I mean, Triple H did.
I am solid.
He did say everything the fans have been saying, and that was good. Good job, David Hero. That could have been a good DWHS.
You are very welcome. Whoa.
Abyss, welcome.
Get up. Get up! All right. This is your segment. I'm out of here.
Hello, Abyss. Welcome. Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Report. Just have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. You know,
I remember you. I choked you out one time, didn't I?
In the TNA studios, we had an incident, but I thought we were better now. I thought we were.
I remember. Well, you squealed like a little girl. I remember it well.
I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm not. I'm very delicate here. But speaking of squealing, speaking of choking out. How do you explain what you did to EY this past Thursday night on Impact? Why did you choke him out? A man who's had numerous throat surgeries, and I mean, you almost brutalized him.
I I brutalized him. He deserved that. You see? Because if it weren't for him, everything would be just fine. He unleashed this. He did. So why shouldn't he pay for it?
Let's keep it calm if we could. I mean, the audience really wants to know. They want to hear. They want to hear us be civil and try to just explain why you did that. And then you, handcuffed to MVP on Thursday, throws a chair into Magnus. Magnus gets another cheap win and retains his championship.
A cheap win? Do you want to revisit that?
I don't want that.
You want to call it a cheap win?
Maybe
your words are wrong.
He got another
victory.
A questionable.
He got another victory.
Yep.
He got another victory. Say it.
He got another victory.
Yeah.
Magnus got another victory on Thursday's Impact. So, what is your alignment with Magnus? What is
obvious?
this? I don't want to speculate.
Magnus truly understood me. Magnus understands what I want out of life. EY exposed me. EY tried to put me down. He couldn't leave well enough alone. Magnus is the only true person that understands me at Impact Wrestling, and that's why we're aligned. It's for the money. You can say whatever you want. For the money, for the power, for whatever. For me, it's being with somebody that truly understands me, and that's what Magnus is.
With all due respect, sir, didn't EY understand you or try to understand you and try to help you through this?
I told EY on several occasions, you're some video guru, go look it up. How many times did I tell him to leave well enough alone? Huh?
Several times. I do remember that, several times.
And now look what he's unleashed on Impact Wrestling. I'm not responsible, Damian, for whatever I do from here on out. People like Eric Young, people like Samoa Joe, those are the guys that are responsible for what you see now.
Again, with all due respect, don't you have to take some of the responsibility?
Responsibility for what? For the carnage that I've caused? Yeah, I'll take full responsibility. Who's going to come stop me? You? Him?
Well,
her? Who's going to come stop me?
I think we're going to
I take full responsibility, and you watch your tone.
I'm sorry. But I think we might find out who will come and blame you, or who will come and question you on it on May 3rd in Racine, Wisconsin, when TNA Impact Wrestling comes to Racine Memorial Hall. Tickets available now, May 3rd, and that's available now, as I said, Ticketmaster.com. Impact Wrestling coming to Racine, Wisconsin.
Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling never disappoints. The Monster Abyss never disappoints, and on May 3rd in Racine.
Let's calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down again. Don't say it again. On May 3rd in Racine, Impact Wrestling will invade, and the Monster Abyss will have his way with whoever he wants. What's wrong? You getting a little antsy?
Well, I mean,
you know what I really missed the most was my hands around your throat. So why don't we go ahead and relive that?